èèyàn wa pé a máa tún kalẹ̀ and àkábọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa tí à ń pè ní Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Bí gbogbo wa ti ṣe mọ ìkànnì wa, ibi tí a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa self-determination, and we say good evening at exactly almost 10:15. A ní ká tún bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ bí méjì mẹ́ta as usual, and catch up because there's a lot happening. There's so much happening that it seems that if we are not monitoring it, ada bígbà tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan kan ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, èní ṣì ní ọjọ́ 9 nínú oṣù keje ọdún 2024. And I say good evening and welcome to our live transmission. We have just about an hour plus to have this discussion tonight, and hopefully we can all gain one or two things as well. So if you're joining in, please share the program and invite somebody else to also participate, and let's also learn from the program. Good evening once again. As you can see, I was almost ready to go to bed. There will always be a winner and there will always be a loser. I'm sure gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣe ń wo football tán, àwa la máa jẹ́ winner lórí Nàìjíríà. Nàìjíríà ò ní jẹ́ winner lórí wa. We will definitely defeat Nigeria, but we have to play the game in a way that we want to defeat them. Just like the way Spain defeated France just about a few minutes ago. So good evening once again as you're settling into the program. I would like to appreciate as many of us that continue to understand that what we are doing today is a joy, because it is a generation that wants to change things around. We want the Yoruba to be more recognized as compared to the Nigeria that has destroyed a lot of our lives. So while we are still putting all the other platforms up and running, while you're settling in, I would like to say good evening to you. Bear with me, there's a washing machine at the back making his own little work while I'm doing my own little thing as well. So, but one thing is, somebody sent me a video which I did 2022, and I was shocked to see myself in that video. And I believe this is the video that was 2022 ni a ṣe video just before the election, when I was telling many Nigerians that election is not a problem. We should talk about the division and the breakup of Nigeria. So this is the video, and let's listen to it from here.
Have the right to self-determination. By virtue of that right, they are freely determine their own nation, their own political status, freely pursue their own economy that is different from the shit on Nigerian economy. They are also social and cultural development. This is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Let's take a couple of calls and then I'll...
Let's listen to it one more time. This was 2022. You can imagine how the time flies. 2022, I was here screaming, shouting, let us break Nigeria. Many Nigerians wanted election.
All Yoruba people have the right to self-determination. By virtue of that right, they are freely determine their own nation, their own political status, freely pursue their own economy that is different from the shit on Nigerian economy. They are also social and cultural development. This is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Let's take a couple of calls and then I'll...
That was 2022 when I was here, right here. We didn't go anywhere. So we've been consistent. Àwọn ṣe olóṣèlú tí ó máa sọ fún yín pé they've used Nigeria for their own benefit. And that's exactly what they've done for, 63 years of lies. Shout out to all our medias that are working back to back. It's not easy, but we're doing our best. Good evening to my beautiful mother. Good evening to my family and my immediate family and my big family that I have as well. So Mukibawa, it's coming up to 10:20. We hope to end this program just before 12. So we won't waste too much of your time. This was sent again to me from Kwara State, precisely Ilorin, as more Fulani continue to do their magic inside our community.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n reverse àwọn kan bọ̀ wájú àwọn kan bọ̀ lẹ́yìn ṣe ti rí mo láti reverse because wọ́n bà mọ́tò mi jẹ́ kí n fẹ́ ṣe fún ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tá a wà yìí ó ní look at it ọ̀nà bìkan lélẹ́yìí look at it look at them these are the cows in my streets. I don't know why they are doing this. The government just allow them. That's it. If anything happens, that's it. Look at it. Odabo, ma kimi. Odabo, come on. And you ya oh from Koiki. I'm going to get an inda camboy. That's it.
What?
Jenny, oh, Koiki.
We've told our people that we're all in danger, but it seems that everybody thinks that we're not in danger.
Thank you very much.
Alone, that's one thing we need to understand. So, well, Awama Wambibai, we would continue to educate you with the little time that we have, because time is very, very precious. The more we sit in Nigeria, the more we are all in danger. That's the way I say it. So, but whether you listen or not, that is your own problem. As long as some of you believe in what we do, we don't need many of you to believe, because so like I said, I'm only here for a few hours. We're not here all night because we have so many other things that we're dealing with. But I think I have one more video I want to share with us. And I'm just going to go straight into the program, and then we'll appreciate some of you that have joined us again tonight. Once again, Muki, Professor Adebanja Kitoye, Muki, the YSDM and all the media that are working tirelessly, to make sure that we educate. Let's listen to this.
This time for $2.5 billion, bringing Nigeria's total debt obligations to over $110 billion. I don't like this deal at all for Nigeria, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say this is more of an economic hitman type move, and I'm going to explain why. The terms of this IMF loan may seem fair at first glance. It's a $2.5 billion loan at 1% interest rate that will be paid off over 40 years, with no payment due for over 10 years. But here's the problem. The loan needs to be paid back in Western currencies, and the Naira is losing significant value every year, meaning this loan is going to end up costing tens of billions of dollars to Nigeria within a decade. From an economic sense, the effective interest rate would be 1% plus the depreciation of the Naira relative to the US dollar. In the past year, the Naira depreciated 50%, meaning the interest rate would be 51% if the Naira depreciation continues. This is an economy-destroying debt obligation, of course, because payments don't start until 2034, when all the current politicians will be long gone when the loan starts to come due. I can understand why this was a tempting loan to take. But let's say the Naira depreciation is only 10% per year, which is very generous. Even in this best-case scenario, that means by 2034, the principal in this loan will effectively grow from $2.5 billion to $7 billion. The payments will then be the equivalent of $1 billion a year and continue for 30 years. So for $2.5 billion today, Nigeria is agreeing to pay the Western banks $30 billion under a 10% inflation rate. But even the loan itself comes with other concessions that should worry Nigerians. Nigeria will have to keep a large portion of this money as foreign reserves, so they can't even spend much of it. They also need to end subsidies on oil, which will hurt their economy, and they will need to enact reforms, which will make it easier for Western banks to compete with the domestic Nigerian banks. I understand that in many ways the current administration inherited these problems. However, the terms of this IMF loan will contribute to long-term insolvency. Nigeria has far too many assets, both in raw resources and a talented labor pool, to be in this debt spiral. And the longer they stay reliant on Western banks, the longer Nigeria will operate below their economic potential. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Nigeria should have taken this loan and agreed to the reforms that came along with it? Or should Nigeria have taken the more difficult path of breaking away from IMF loans? Nigeria has taken another IMF loan, this time for $2.5 billion, bringing Nigeria's total debt obligations to over 110.
Akalamago TV, thank you so much for joining us. By the time the loan will be paid back by 40 years from now, Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ gan, chances tó máa wà láyé ó máa slim. Loan tí Tinubu ń gbà àti tó ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀ àti gbogbo àwọn tó kù, it will be very, very rare that most of them will be alive. They'll probably be dead. If you multiply their age, you know, I don't know how old is Tinubu right now, but by the time Toba will age Tinubu, Toba add the 40 years, so let's play the anthem and just go straight into the program because it's done already 11 minutes. If you know the anthem, you can sing along. Ishewa funlewa, forile ibiwa, kagbega, kagbega, kagbega faleri. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá, ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ́ ká máa lépa, ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára, ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ, ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. So mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì yẹn and you know, good evening, and I hope you've been having a very good time, you know, in your country called Nigeria, with food expensive, the fuel, the insecurity, everything that we've talked about is becoming reality. But you're still enjoying life, and we're still alive. So, Abi, everything that we have talked about, gbogbo nta ti sọ, bó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí yín, ẹ̀yin aláìgbọràn, tẹ́ fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, àti Mùsùlùmí tó fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, àti Kristẹni tó fẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Everybody is now crying one way or the other. Moki, brother me, Adewale. I'll not be mentioning name because, like I said, there's not much time. You know, time is very, very important. Ago, or important. So the longer we stay in Nigeria, the more the problem will continue to be. And the world is not going to wait for you. So if you think that the world is going to wait for you, nobody's going to wait for anybody. Especially the world is a very, very busy, route. So everybody is not going to wait for anybody. So we have to do what we have to do. Whatever, how you think that you want your country to come to reality, you have to do what you need to do. Don't expect me to be coming online and say, oh, no, yeah, I'm not sure. No. Everybody knows what we need to do. So if you don't know what to do, go and watch all my videos that I've produced in the last 4 years. Everything we need to do is in that video. You will not get a good education in Nigeria. Your businesses will fold up. There's no amount of effort with official business. It's only in Nigeria that people are trying their best. You will not have constant electricity. Your government will not value you. So whatever yacht that you want in Nigeria, eventually, maybe you will wake up and realize that, in town people in social, Tony, you're waiting for 2027. 2027 will come and go now. That's what you should understand. 2027 will come and go. 2031 will come and go. But one thing is, if we continue to be deceived that we should all go and save a country called Nigeria, you are likely to be affected, with it. So what we should just understand is that we've said everything that needs to be said. We will continue to, tell every one of you that I didn't even catch up with the paper today. The shot today be Spanish in France. So I made you prepare that, but one person has to win the game. So do you want us to win the game against the federal government? How? That is the question that everybody. And not come and say, Baba Kitoye Dekoni. No, everybody has a role to play. Baba Kitoye is playing his role. Igbowo is playing his role. YSDM are playing their role. Yoruba World Media is playing their role. Home-based media are playing their role. What role are you playing? You. Just sit there and then expect everybody to go and do it, or you just want to blame him. That one is the most easiest one. So everybody has a role to play. But the good thing is that those of us abroad, we are likely to survive longer than those of you in Nigeria. That is definitely for sure. If you don't go beyond your limits or cut your coat according to your size. Nigeria, you need security in your house. Abroad, government provides security. Nigeria, you need to provide water for yourself. In UK, the services are there, you just pay for it. So what do you want? Which one there? It will offend. So, but around don't tell olóṣèlú nísìn, in topic jelon one bit. And we will do politics as well in Nigeria, in Yoruba Nation. But we're not going to do the same politics like you. So I'm just going to go straight to our discussion. This is the 7th week, I believe. The good news, Path to Prosperity in Orile Yoruba by Professor Adebanji Akitoye. I'm not going to read the introduction. We are on the 7th week. That means for the last 7 weeks, we have been discussing about this particular manifesto. So we've talked about our history and our roots. We've talked about, that was the week 1. We are a nation with a proud root and a proud history. If you've missed any of these, just go back to my pages. You will find it there. And then Moki Bugu Benin Republic. Especially those of you that are struggling at this very difficult time. He was requesting for something, and I said, we don't have it right now, to offer you. But in Tombere, Tabatu Alori M1 or Fellow Mari, you will not even have to worry yourself. And maybe then Tabawa Lori M1, United Nations might be up on Jewa Funwa, Tamama Je. It is that the Navy Pine anything, Mobalo Mama Pine. At the week 3, we talked about we shall revive and strengthen our education. If you like, come out from university from Nigeria, go get job. If you like, go meet Babalawo, make he pray for you, you no go get job. If you like, go meet your pastor, you no go get job. If you like, go meet your afar. If you like, have your own business. Frustration and anger will probably kick in because any talent. You have talent, welder, fashion designer, barber. You want to open a restaurant. You want to work with the government. That's the only one where you can still. You will not. You will just go to university and do. I wonder why some of you are still worrying yourself. Go and do NYSC. Hey, let me go and do NYSC so that I can get a job. Go and ask all your brothers. Every one of them, I want to start. They've all done NYSC. They couldn't get a job. They end up becoming He was saying the last program he did, he was saying Keke Marwa is about 3.5 million. A graduate, a graduate. We saw one the other day. They sent me the audio. He's now in Ajashek Buki in Benin Republic. Marine engineer. A person that should be earning about 74 million. Abibeko. And there come Moke Erin Julius. Moki Adekunle Oguns. Yawa Mustafa Moki Salam Alaikum. So, washing machine to shut on. At the time, it's more time to make washing it. So, you to charge. Anytime I Koikimedia to do, you might have to switch to one of my, because this laptop sometimes it charges, sometimes it doesn't charge. So I don't know what's wrong with it tonight. And I don't got the strength, to be dealing with that tonight. So Emani láti lọ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní àwọn platforms wa tó kù, ẹ má bínú. So I'm gonna end broadcasting any bye. So find me on the other platform if you want to continue to watch. Thank you so much. Tabasheto, I'm gonna post the full video and deal with the stress tonight. So we have too many things we're dealing with. So Abibeko. So when we tell you that education, Buhari shut down Mokia Shegun, brother me. Buhari shut down the clinical support to what madly funny equipment, laptop and lele. I'm not to shake, but me a charge, but me couldn't charge. So they can go stress me lale. At is of fun in pé kelo keshikini Buhari fún 9 months Eshegoni Alaja Mustafa. Buhari for 9 months. Shut down Bobo University. But we gan bari lohun. I won't away now. It might be no. It didn't reflect better. Let me put my military jacket on it so that àwọn ọ̀ràn kì í kàwé, àwa là ń kàwé náà, kíní kan ìran málà tó kàwé, àwọn ń kàwé, ìwé mélòó ló fẹ́ kà, kíní kan pẹ̀lú ìwé, àwa la fẹ́ lọ sí university, àwa la fẹ́ lọ study, and at the end of the day, àwa ló ń fìyà jẹ. So we've talked about the education on the week 3. Ní week 4, we talked about the first and foremost in our orílẹ̀-èdè Yoruba. We shall seriously revive our national character. Kí ló ń pè ní national character? Gbogbo náà láti sọ. So we talked about that. So we shall revive our national character. Then week 5, we talked about our youth. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ tí mu Colorado, drugs all over the place. Ṣe mo drug náà lẹ́ ń ṣe ṣìnà. Wọ́n ti fi hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì nìkan ní gbogbo business tó ń run ní Nàìjíríà nísìn. Ilé ọtí, ilé ṣìnà. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń think about research. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń think about technology. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, ẹ lọ jókòó sọ́dọ̀ àwọn TikTok. Ẹ ti gbàgbé pé TikTok, àwọn tó dá TikTok sílẹ̀ fún business purposes lọ́dálẹ̀ fún. Àwa ti sọ́dọ̀ nǹkan míì. Gbogbo ìjọ Tuesday báyìí táwọn tó wà ní China Silicon Valley l'Amẹ́ríkà àwa wà nílé ọtí àmọ́ ọmọ tí yóò gbẹ́gẹ́ and value kankan. So we shall revive. These are part of what we've talked about, so I'm just taking you back the summary. If you want to watch all that, just find it on my YouTube. You'll find it there. Then we went to number 5, which is the week 5. Our youth development program will transform our nation. Which nation? Which nation? Nation will enfe. Mora àwọn Gani Adams, àwọn kan náà àwọn OPC Nigeria, ẹ ti ṣí èrè, ẹ̀yin wèrè, orí ogbo yín ò pé. Ẹ̀yin mọ̀ tán pè Nigeria. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀. Ṣé ẹ̀yin mọ̀ tán pè Nigeria? Tó bá sọ tán pè Nigeria fún iṣẹ́ lè understand ẹ̀. Ẹ̀ tẹ́ ní làákàyè. Ẹ̀ ń ṣe fídíò. Tí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá tẹ̀ ń ṣe fídíò, ṣé gbogbo ẹ̀ ló yẹ kó máa ṣe fídíò? Àwa support protest, support àwa OPC Nigeria. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀, ẹ̀yin ṣùgòmù, ẹ̀rí gbogbo yín bẹ ṣe rí dàbí ẹ̀dà tó ní dọ̀tí, smelly people. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ láìsàn lára tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ sí hospital kọ́ gbé yín sórí MRI machine kó scan gbogbo bọ́dì yín kó mọ tó ń ṣe yín. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ OPC Nigeria, OPC Nigeria. Ẹ̀yin mọ bàbá tó dá Nigeria sílẹ̀. Ṣíọ. Mo wo fídíò lọ́dọ̀ Yèyé Dára láàárọ̀ yìí. Mo kàn rẹ́rìn ni. Àwa OPC Nigeria làwa ọ̀dẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin òmùgọ̀. Kílẹ̀ understand by Nigeria. Tinubu gan tó jẹ́ 419 gan mọ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria. Ẹlẹ́mi mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tinubu 419. Òun gan mọ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́. Ó kàn fi Nigeria ó fi enrich ara ẹ̀ sí ni. Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ president yín. Ó kàn fi Nigeria ó fi enrich ara ẹ̀. Àwa OPC Nigeria. Ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rí smell. Tẹ́ bá lọ wọlé tó ń gbé smelly face ẹlòmíì nínú wọn face me I'm sure gbogbo wọn gan sef face me I face you. Ẹ̀rí gbogbo aṣọ tẹ́ wọ̀ àwa lè mọ̀ pásọ yẹn rùn láti inú fídíò. Tẹ́mi ní sàṣọ yìí tí n bá fọ̀ fúnjọ́ 6 ẹ lè mọ̀ but kò ní rùn sójú kámẹ́rà. Wo eléyìí tí mo wọ̀ sí bíbà eléyìí tí máa fi sùn ni. Èyí máa fi à ń faṣọ aláṣọ tá máa fi ń sùn tá bá ti dé láti tá bá ti jáde aṣọ tá wọ̀ jáde á lọ bọ àkóso òun ni machine ó máa fọ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Ìyẹn lẹ ṣe ń wọ boss corner tá bá gbogbo pátá àti bra tá ti wọ̀ ní abroad ìyẹn lẹ ṣe ń send wá sọ́dọ̀ yín tẹ́ máa ń rà tẹ́ máa wọ̀ gbogbo aṣọ tẹ́ wọ̀ yẹn. Àwa OPC Nigeria ṣó tẹ́ kẹ́ máa jáde kẹ́ máa sọ pé OPC Nigeria ojú ò tẹ̀ tì ẹ̀yin mọ̀ tán pé Nigeria. Òyìnbó gan mọ̀ pé Nigeria kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria. 419 lòyìnbó fúnra rẹ̀ gan. Àwọn ọmọ OPC Nigeria àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀lé Yorùbá nation àwọn ọ̀ṣẹ́ Yorùbá nation ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ṣùgùmù. Gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ yín wọ́n wá Bentley wọ́n wá Rolls Royce káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Wọ́n gun good car. Àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ sometimes kí wọ́n máa nà yín lẹ́gba ni but mo kàn lè understand pé lack of understanding pé mọ anything tẹ́lẹ̀ kàkà kẹ́dẹ̀ jókòó kẹ́ farabalẹ̀ gbọ́ kí tá bá rí wọn nísìn wọ́n máa wà níbi tó ti ń tọwọ́ bọ́ra wọn nídìí àwọn yẹn nísìn àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké fídíòfáì ní gbogbo wọn bá ṣe wá yan fídíòfáì wọn àtọwọ́ ọmọ kéékèèké nídìí criminals all over the place. Yes Yorùbá ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń ṣe ritual jù mo sọ. Igbo ló ń ṣe drug àwa là ń ṣe ritualist ni wá ògiri olórí ṣe bí àwọn olówó ṣe lówó nìyẹn labroad wọ́n máa ń gé orí èèyàn wàá gé ọyàn ìlú rẹ̀ wọ́n máa fi gúnṣẹ́ ṣé bọ́ ṣe ń lówó labroad nìyẹn. àwa APC Nàìjíríà ẹ̀yin wèrè ẹ̀yin ò sínwé people. Our OPC Nigeria. OPC Nigeria. OPC Nigeria. What do you understand? What do you know by meaning of Nigeria? If you know the meaning of Nigeria, you would destroy everything relating to Nigeria. Every goddamn thing that is known as Nigeria, you will pull it down and destroy it. It's not a name that we should even be calling ourselves. àwọn òyìnbó lórí burúkú dé wọ́n pè wá ní orúkọ kan akọ accept ẹ̀ àwa wá ní ká padà sí àwọn ìṣe Yorùbá à ń ṣe Yorùbá ó dẹ̀ ń sọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu ẹ̀jẹ̀ pé púpọ̀ nù Fúlàní ló bá ìyá yín sùn ló dó ìyá yín ló ẹ̀yọ́ lòṣó lórí burúkú wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ní kí ló ẹ̀ má tẹ̀ bóyin mọ́ bọ̀tì sometimes akọ wo jágbàjágbà kò jẹ́ kíyàn fi sọ̀rọ̀ tíyàn fi sọ gan àlè ń sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfànṣá ní bíbá bomb bastard. Do you know the meaning of Nigeria? If you know the meaning of Nigeria, you will destroy every goddamn thing. Most of you have never enjoyed what is called Nigeria. Yeah, we are in Nigeria. What do you know the meaning of Nigeria? Moki, salam alaikum. Afa, Mubarak, Idris. Ekpe fún adadi. Àdúrà yẹn máa gbàlè wa lórí ni. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ará Ìlọrin. Àwọn ọ̀bẹ́sìn kankan jà o. Mo bá Mùsùlùmí jà sí tó kọ́ mi pẹ̀lú. I was born as a Muslim. Bá wọn ẹ̀ kò ṣe Muslim, kó wọn ẹ̀ kò ṣe Christian, ó yẹn kò ṣaláwo. A ní ká gbára wa kúrò ní wàhálà àti ìdààmú táwa. Ṣèbí àfà lágbàjì ló wà London. Ẹ gbogbo yín ò rí wọn. Ẹ máa tọ́ra yín. From the time he goes and coming, he will be valued and respected. Nítorí bá wọn neighbor mi ni kó máa ṣe, kò bá ṣe gay, kò bá ṣe lesbian, kò bá má pẹ̀sìn kankan, àní kó tẹ respect mi ti bá jáde kémi náà respect ẹ̀. Tó bá èyí tó lájá, ó ti mọ̀ pé òun gbọ́dọ̀ fi nǹkan sẹ́nu ajá ẹ̀. Ajá kan lọ́nà gé ọmọ kan jẹ nìbàdàn ìlú òfò, one bastard country. Everybody just intimidate each other. Ìbí kan lọ́nà fọ́gò mọ́kan lórí Kókó Zaria. Ó dẹ̀ èmi kan ni mo fọ́gò mọ́ lórí, ó dẹ̀ ní ìgò yẹn orí tébù ẹ̀ ló wà. Intimidation all over the place. That's the kind of country. So I'm a Nigerian. What is Nigeria? And then so most of you go and watch football now. That's what I don't understand. Can they put Spain and French and France and put them together and say go and live in one place and they call it France Spain country? Ilé àwọn máa sọ èdè tiẹ̀, Spanish àwọn máa sọ tiẹ̀, French àwọn máa sọ tiẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n máa gbọ́ra wọn yé? Mo kí brother mi Yẹmí Fatoki. Can you ebi gbogbo ilẹ̀ tí wo football? Èmi náà wò lórí 60 inch mi lèmi tí wò. Mo ní láti lọ sí bar. Is it possible to join those two countries and put them together and then make it form a country? You won't know football. So you only understand pé ìlú kan wà tó ń pè ní France. Ó yàtọ̀ sí Spain. Àwa ní pé ìlú kan náà wà tó ń pè ní Yorùbá nation. Ó wá ní èmi ò ṣe Yorùbá nation náà. I am in Nigeria wèrè. Bomb bastards. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀. I am in Nigeria. Tó bá mọ̀ tán pé Nigeria. Òyìnbó ló ń gbádùn Nigeria yẹn ló ṣe máa ń wá sí ilé tó máa ń value wọn jù ẹ̀yin lọ. Tí bá wá pẹ̀lú òyìnbó nísìn ẹ̀, wọ́n máa value òyìnbó yẹn jù mí lọ. Tí bá padà sí Nigeria nísìn ẹ̀, tí mo mú òyìnbó dání, òyìnbó tí wàá mú dání yẹn, Lebanese ni o. Ẹ̀rí báwọn Lebanese ṣe ń tutọ́ sí lára nínú Nigeria ń bẹ. Ẹ̀rí bọ́ ṣe ń tutọ́ sí lára. I'm in Nigeria. Wọ́n jí gbogbo owó ọkọ̀ sí abroad. Owó wa ọkọ̀ sí abroad. Wọ́n fi ń develop. Ìwọ wá ń tẹpá mi Nigeria. Ìwọ mechanic. Ó ní irinṣẹ́. Ó ní tools. I'm in Nigeria. Bàbá kò ní clipper. Ó kọ́ṣẹ́ ó sì ń wá táǹtì ẹ̀ tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà kó bẹ́ẹ̀ send owó kó lè fi ra clipper. Dàbí yàn kan tó send message. Mo fáyẹ̀ gidi. Kí mi bá wọn sọ fáǹtì òun kó ra mọ́tò fóun kóun fi ṣe ó bá kò ní. Mo fáyẹ̀ gidi. Tó bá yẹ̀ wá bọ́ sójú títì wá lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì reason tó ṣe ní mọ́tò. Kò tí kan yín lára ni. Tó bá ká gbogbo yín lára ẹ máa bọ́ sójú títì. Ẹ̀yin lẹ máa bọ́ sójú títì. Táǹtì ẹ̀ send owó sí ẹ. Ó mọṣẹ́ táǹtì ẹ̀ ṣe labroad. Ẹ fi pé responsibility yín ni tàwa. No. Tí wọn náà bá ti jápa, ó lọ́kì nìyẹn. Tó bá ti jápa, face government ẹ̀. Kò lọ máa bá government ẹ̀. Gbogbo ń tẹ bá ní kẹ́ lọ bá government yín. That is the purpose that she vote for. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ vote, lose anything. No? Tá bá ti vote. If we don't vote, we lose our civic right. Civic right of fowó. We told you. Need a voting. Ọmọdé kì í ṣe èdè bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká má gbé lọ sí ilẹ̀ kẹ̀mí ẹ ti gbé ìdí tó kẹ fọ́gò kẹgún díyẹn kó tètè jò. Everybody is now, you know, àwọn tó dẹ̀ lówó wọ́n intimidate yín. I was reading, let me read something. Mo kà fáwọn prayer tá a ṣe nírọ̀lẹ́. Come on, I've got probably an hour and a half lórí programming. Let's stay in here all night. Wáyé ẹ̀ bọ́ sójú títí ẹ lọ bèrè fún ẹ̀tọ́ yín. Ẹ má fi pé àwa ní right yín, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ pè wá labroad ká send owó sí yín. Ẹlòmíì owó oṣù ló ń gbà. Ẹ kọ́ pé yàn anyhow, fún wa lówó, ẹ ṣàánú wa. Ẹ kò jágbàjàgbà lọ jàre. Chairman Kanuk tó ń pè ní Central Association of Nigeria. Rí. Mo wo brother ìwà yìí. Mo wo mọ́tò tó gbé lọ sọ́dọ̀ Ṣeun Kútì. Ojú tì mí. Bọ̀ ìrábọ̀ sọ́ni. Ẹ wo mọ́tò tó gbé lọ bá Ṣeun Kútì. Ìyẹn àtẹ̀rọ̀pọ̀ ní ẹ wo mọ́tò yẹn. Abẹ́rẹ́. Mo wo fídíò yẹn títí báyìí mo tún pàdé kò ń ṣe máa yín ni. Sonny Rabo product name ni. Àwọn olórí burúkú politician wọ́n ń gbé SUV káàkiri. Ẹ wo mọ́tò tó gbé lọ bá tó lọ fi olè tẹ́ bá mi tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. He's a broadcaster. Àgbà náà ti dé. Ti believe in one Nigeria títí Nigeria ò rí nǹkan kan ṣe fún. Nigeria ò lè rí nǹkan kan ṣe fún anybody. Kí ni Nigeria máa ṣe fún yín? Kò lè rí nǹkan kan ṣe fún anybody. Ẹ wò, mo mọ tó ń sọ mí báyìí. Sonny Rabo. Ó wá lọ kí Ṣeun Kútì nílé. Àwọn àbí kábúkábú ló gbé wá ni. Bí a mọ́tò ẹ̀, bí a kò rè pora sí mọ́tò ẹ̀. Jalopi. Láìláìlàlá kò ní dá fún gbogbo àwọn ní ṣoríire ẹ̀yin politicians. I don't think some of you know this man, Sonny Rabo. Tí wo fídíò yẹn títí báyìí. Need the music yẹn. Fi music yẹn ṣe. Need the audio yẹn. Need audio yẹn. Kí la ṣe máa ṣe nísìnyí tó audio ní jáde báyìí. Okay. Abẹ́rẹ́. Àbí kò répo rà sí mọ́tò ẹ̀ ni. Ṣé kò lówó lọ́wọ́ mọ́ ni? Má ṣe. Ẹ̀wò tí Nàìjíríà sọ Sonny Rabo. Abẹ́rẹ́ mọ́tò yẹn. Láyé sí. Mo kọ́kọ́ pa àbí Mercedes ni mọ́tò yìí ni. That is what Nigeria can do for you. Àwọn ilé serve Nigeria ni. Ẹn tó ṣe flag kan ni. Bàbá yẹn wọ́n ló kú ọ̀tẹ̀ ìrántí pé ó kú. Ibi tí mò ń lọ kọ́ ní anyway, so mo kọ ya àgbàrá síbẹ̀ yẹn ni. Ẹ máa wo àwọn celebrity yín. Nigeria. Are disappointed. Kò tí disappointed yín lẹ́sẹ̀, you are still feeling for Nigeria because he has not disappointed you. If Nigeria disappoints you, you will understand. Mo wo Bàbá Gbàgede mọ̀. Ọmọ kan tọ́nu jábọ́ sínú omi ní Kétu. I know there's always flood around the world. No, ṣé àwa lè ká máa dáwó fáwọn èèyàn tíyàn bá ti kú Nàìjíríà nísìn. Àwa la gbọ́dọ̀ máa dáwó. Tíyàn bá ti kú nísìn. So ẹjọ́ ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá around the world ó yá ẹjọ́ ìṣàánú wa ó yá £20, £30. Mo ti sọ pé owó kú la máa ń fi dájú. We like that one. Ó yá ẹ gba $200 ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ gba $500. Ẹ bá lọ kọ́lé fún. I am not saying tó ń ṣe yẹn wrong o. Ẹ má misquote mi o. But ìjọ àwọn máa ṣe gbò yẹn dà. Ẹ wo Dino. Ẹ wo mọ́tò tí Dino páàkì sílé. Dino lè fún bọ̀bọ́ yìí ní kan náà mọ́tò yẹn kó máa gbé káàkiri. Abẹ́rẹ́ Jalopi tó gbé wá bá Ṣeun Kútì. Ẹ ń farawé Ṣeun Kútì. Ṣeun Kútì tó ń travel káàkiri láàbúrọ̀dì tó ń gbájà yorí ẹ̀. Bàbá Ṣeun Kútì ti ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn sílẹ̀. So you can't blame Ṣeun Kútì. whether he gets involved in Yoruba nation or not. Mo kí àdìtú ọ̀rọ̀ Elédùmarè. Ó ní big boss kò ní òun ìpó kí àbíbo àdúgbò ló ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́ àdìtú ọ̀rọ̀. Mo wà lórí program ẹ̀ ń bíbá mu kan títí ẹ̀ ṣe. Ó ní kò ní dá fún wọn Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country from the beginning. It's time to break up. Àdìtú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ó ń bá mi sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan lánàá kò ń ṣe fún public consumption. Mo àwọn pé má ṣe o ẹ wo talent tí wọ́n ń waste lójoojúmọ́. Sanjo Beauty ṣọ́mu. Sometimes I just Nigeria kọ́ máa fọyàn ní headache. Orí a máa fọyàn pressure ti pọ̀ jù. How many people do you want to help? Government ló gbọ́dọ̀ help èèyàn. Wallahi ta'ala sumo billahi la ilaha illa. You have a government, the government put the mechanism in place. Then our media bẹ́ẹ̀ la máa pressure government pé government must do this. But government in Nigeria tẹ́ bá pressurize mujemuje ni wọ́n. People that are drinking human blood, how are you going to convince them to do something for the citizens? They're not going to do it. Because they don't see you as Mokinye, Yawa Sherifat, Agbabiaka. Government in me. Mo wà lórí boss lánàá. Paper tanoda. Paper tenini. Bia paper tanoshi ma wà lọ́wọ́ mi bí báyìí. Gbogbo tí Labour Party náà máa ṣe. How do I explain to my people at home that Nigeria is not a country? People they will let Tuesday late at I'm not sure. Ìgbà pé mo jáde lánàá ni mo mọ bí tí mo ju paper yẹn sí. Paper tẹ̀lé ní. But yesterday paper, ẹni tó bá wà ní London, 10 bullet point gbogbo tí mo kí Mr. Majek wọlé that the Labour Party plans to do. One of them is within the parliamentary I think it's 5 years. They plan to build 1.5 million houses across 1.5 million. Kí ló dé táwọn tó kọ́ lè mẹ̀kúnnù fáwa? Why do I need to buy a house or no? Why do I need to go and buy a land? Níbi tí kò develop. So, because for me, it's a waste of time. I'll go and buy a house where there's no development there. Oh, my develop. I'll develop my lara. The lies, the corruption, the crime against humanity. Then some people will come out and say, I am defending Nigeria. Tinubu is a very old man. So, Tori Tinubu lesson love Nigeria. Ori yokwe. And love Tinubu Tori Nigeria. I been love Nigeria Tori Tinubu. Mori Eniola Badmus now. Lọ Costco. She's shopping. Parking agbelo Nigeria. Awa ta fan olówó. Abi. So, yẹn normal. Gbogbo tó ń rà ní Costco yẹn ṣe bí àwọn ló yẹ ká máa ṣe ní Áfíríkà nínú Nàìjíríà. Ṣètúnṣe àṣẹ ó lè ní investment níta tó ń fún ní forex. Ṣẹ̀rẹ́ ìtẹ̀ wà nílé nìkan tó ń fún yín ní forex, tó ń fún yín ní dollar, tó ń fún yín ní pounds. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé Dino ó ti invest owó síta? He gets more dollar than naira. But ibo ló ti rówó yẹn? Inú Nàìjíríà, mo kí ìyàwó yẹn Comfort Ológunjà, ẹ ṣé káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa mà. Bàdẹ̀ tí rí àwọn ọmọ grandma báyìí nísìnyẹn máa ń fẹ́ try láti kọ̀sọ́gbọ́n ti ní Koiki wọ́n ṣáà máa educate wa lọ. Má bínú púpọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n ka because mo fẹ́ pẹ́ púpọ̀ lórí program tálẹ̀ because it's been a busy 48 hours as usual. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sọ́dọ̀ Ayọ̀ Akínfẹ́. Ayọ̀ Akínfẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá mi tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ is the current Kanuk chairman in UK. Ẹ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé Koiki kí ló ń pè ní Kanuk? He's a public figure, so I can talk about him. It's nothing, and he's a gomideni amorada. So that's his face there. In case Tibakpo one is if there's any problem that sometimes people still call me. Most of them talk with me pé àwọn fẹ́ ṣe Nigerian passport. They needed advice, and I gave them the advice. And Nigeria is still running as a country, so it hasn't, it's not yet dissolved yet. So somebody called me, they needed information on how to obtain their Nigerian passport, for their family. And I did give them, idea of what they can do. Let me read what my brother, Ayo Akinfe, wrote 14 hours ago. Is the current chairman of Kanuk. Kanuk spelled as C-A-N-U-K. It stands for Central Association of Nigerians in the United Kingdom. I know the previous chairman, the two previous chairmen, I know them before he became the chairman as well. And I still have good relationship with every one of them. This is what he wrote on his Instagram handle. Can Nigeria's elite, and we don't put elite, elite spell E-L-I-T-E, Echo Lima India Tango Echo, elite, the people that you say, you see King Sunny Ade is part of our elite. You see the Okoyas, they're part of our elite. Bola Shagaya, Baba Jebu, they're our elite. Kí lorúkọ bàbá tí mo ọ̀kẹ́ owó olówó bí ṣẹ̀pẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹ fi pa àwọn yẹn fẹ́ rí Nàìjíríà pín ni ìníkan wọn. Nàìjíríà ọba máa pín. Kó má pín láwọn yẹn fẹ́. I've met ọ̀kẹ́ owó once. Owó burúkú wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Bastard money. They are delicates. These are our elites. And you know what our elite have been doing lately? Why Mekuno, you and me, coming to our platform, do freebies, asking behind the curtain, support wa, shanua, yanjewa, kinikon. Yeah, the beauty of mansion. I met him, in London. Can Nigeria's elite, now you know the picture of elite. I love to explain details because that is the only way to have better understanding. So when I give the meaning and all that, is because I want people to get the fact of what I'm talking about. And sometimes I learn from there as well. Not that I don't know the meaning myself. Can Nigeria's elite please exercise a little restraint? Meaning restraint. Restrain. What is the meaning of restrain? Restrain.
Restraint.
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 As in R-E-S-T-R-A-I-N-T. A measure or condition that keeps someone or something under control. Restrain. Decisions are made with the financial restraint of the budget. Alituli sọ pé unemotional, dispassionate, moderate. Oni ọ̀rọ̀ tó lè yé yín dáadáa. Wọ́n ní jẹun níwọ̀nba. Àbí má fi gbogbo ọwọ́ jẹun tán. Torí ọ̀la. Kàpọ̀ Yorùbá oríṣiríṣi ni èdè tá a ṣe máa ń lo èdè ọ̀rọ̀. má jẹ gbogbo ẹ̀ tán ó ṣe ṣẹ́wọ́ kù for the raining days. O ní £10 ó wá fẹ́ ná gbogbo £10 yẹn tán ó ṣe ṣẹ́ díẹ̀ kù bí àbí £2 torí jọ́ mi lé wà o lè má tètè rí another £10. Nigeria did not save for Nigeria ò lè ṣiṣẹ́ because it was saved for the raining days. They were spending money as if tomorrow was never going to come. The reason tí gbogbo àṣẹ ń jìyà back to back all over the world lẹ́ni everybody attending on JBA attending on PhD masters ṣe dúró sí Nàìjíríà àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ojú àlà pé káwọn kúrò Nàìjíríà for a while nígbà tó mọ̀ pé wà láǹbọ̀ ó dẹ̀ ń bọ̀. Can the Nigerians elite? So the meaning of
restraint.
A restraint is something that limits freedom of movement, action, or growth. Social restraints seem to have become dangerously unrestrictive. Ayo Akife Egbomidada, the chairman of the Central Association of Nigerians in the UK, ó wá sọ fún àwọn elite wa, àwọn tí mo ti dárúkọ síwájú yẹn, àmọ́ pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Please exercise a little restraint with these lavish weddings that keep throwing every weekend. Dele Momodu Kushe, Egbomidada, the photographer. Some people will just watch them. Ìrònú àdè máa dé bá wọn. Ẹ wá ní kó má sí ritualist káàkiri ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. There will be ritualists because people also want to survive. So in the midst of where people don't have, they will do whatever they need to do. I am not here to tell you to go and do whatever you need to do, but people will do but those that cannot do what they are not meant to do, they are coming for you. They are coming for every single one of you, not me. Who's going to come for me? The only people that wants to come for people like us are those that doesn't want us to speak the truth to you. Because ẹ má lọ gbọ́ Koiki o, Koiki yẹn ẹ má lọ gbọ́, ṣe mọ̀ pé lóyìnbó ló wà pẹ̀lú àwọn ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ má lọ gbọ́ Koiki o, ẹ fi Koiki sílẹ̀ o, ó fẹ́ dá wàhálà lẹ̀ o. Mo ń ka report kan tí ó jáde láìpẹ́ yìí, mo ń bọ̀. I'm going to come back there. Ẹ mọ̀ pé máa fẹ́ link nǹkan kan mọ́ra wọn, mo ń bọ̀. Ibi ìbàyẹn ni máa ṣí Nàìjíríà kúrò lọ. Sorry, your heart that is with Nigeria, I will destroy that heart. I will poison it. You will not love Nigeria anymore. I will be showing you things that you will get angry with yourself. And that anger should go back to the politician's head. Over 600 Boko Haram. You are still there looking for work. They are already looking. They're already training Boko Haram and they are putting them back in our communities. You are there looking for money. Government is funding them. Who is fooling who? Mumbo. Who is fooling who? Continue to say, Enumionu. Where they play. You hear the don't get angry with me. Like I said, Emi no Japani. Emi kotiteti moms, not me. My mom saw it that I was almost fighting my mom that I want to go to uni. Like she was saying, what uni like? I said, all my friends are doing jam. So which jam? Forget about jam. Go and sit down. When the time comes, I will bring you here. I'm still working on it. Then, it's a big task because I have to go to Abuja and do my interview at the British Embassy. You are there saying, Sister wa Janet, only want to jade, grace of superior mercy, anunla, I share it, eba wa gbo wole ke lo ba wa gbo. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ subscribe to the channel, it's okay, abẹ́yìn, we couldn't get 1,000. But tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n pè láti Nàìjíríà pé, ọlọ́lọ́lọ́lọ́, ó ti jábọ́ o, orí ẹ̀ ti fọ́ o, ó ti kú o. ibẹ̀ la máa ń like. Ó yá, èlò ló need ńbẹ̀ yẹn. Those ones cannot solve the problem. There are many people that need help. So kò dìgbà tíyàn kan tí jàǹbá bá ṣe ló need the help. Every citizen of Yoruba land needs help. I'm talking about 30 million of them. So what you are doing is you are just taking just a small pinch. So if you kan ẹ̀dà lọ́lá. So àwọn tẹ́ ẹ̀dà lọ́lá yẹn, wọ́n máa padà lọ gé orí ẹni. Wọ́n máa gé orí ẹ̀, wọ́n máa fi ìdá àwọn ọmọ kan lọ gé orí girlfriend wọn ní Abẹ́òkúta. After tó ti ṣe jìgìjìgì, wọ́n tún gé orí ẹ̀, wọ́n sún nínú ilé ni. Wọ́n dẹ̀ náà ọmọ yẹn wà ló ṣì ń sè nínú ilé tiẹ̀. L'Abẹ́òkúta, ritualist Ogun State people. Ritualist ni you can get out. Wàá rógùn ṣe fáwọn politician. Mọ́mì mi kan pè mí, wọ́n ní kí n sọ fún yín pé èmi ò mọ bí ṣọ́ máa ń gbin wèrèpè ní àbí báwo. Wọ́n ní ká lọ máa gbin wèrèpè. A nídìí wèrèpè tó pọ̀, a máa lò ó. Wọ́n ní kí n bẹ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nílé. Wèrèpè, ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ tán pè ní wèrèpè. Ẹ lọ máa tọ́jú ẹ̀. Àsìkò kan ń bọ̀ tá a máa rí lò. Torí ìgbà tí bá ní ká jáde pa máa lo wèrèpè, kẹ́ máa sọ fún mi pé àní wèrè, I will be mention. Ìgbà Ọlákúnlé máa make sure pé òun rán mi létí ní gbogbo ìgbà lórí program pé wèrèpè, a máa lọ ra wèrèpè ní. Tá a bá ń lè gẹ́tẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, ká lọ sí Benin, ká lọ Ghana, gbogbo ibi tá a bá ti máa rí wèrèpè. I need the thousands of wèrèpè. A máa dàlú wọn ni. Ẹni ṣoríire. Gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá ti ń ṣe party yẹn, a máa da wèrèpè síbẹ̀. A máa já gbogbo oúnjẹ lára. A máa fẹ́ atẹ́gùn wèrèpè síbẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin fi máa gbádùn kí a máa jẹ gbogbo wa. Àbí gbogbo wa ò ní jọ gbádùn tó bá yá. Wèrèpè rẹpẹtẹ. Ìyá ẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà ló pè mí. No, UK tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. Wèrèpè àìtẹ́ tí ní ìdọ̀pá àní ìdẹ́ni tí. Wèrèpè ní kẹ́ lọ rà. Ẹ lọ rà, ẹ preserve ẹ̀. Má jẹ́ kó jáwọ́ náà jẹ́ o, wà tọ́jú ẹ̀. Àdá wèrèpè sí gbogbo yín lára. Dumb bastards. This is the story. Ó ti wà lórí Koikimedia blog. Why you are there, coming here and be talking nonsense? Koiki, shut up. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ kan ẹgbọ́n òyìnbó jẹ́ mi lọ. Àwọn òyìnbó gọ́tà. Òyìnbó gọ́tà tẹ́ ń sọ ní Nàìjíríà. Come here, come and listen. 560 repentant book. This is not me making this up because I know some of you come here and say, I hope Koiki, you are not making all this up because I like Otito. 560 repentant Boko Haram terrorists have now commenced training in Borno State. They are training them. I thought it was all 560 until they told us that over 7,000 have gone through that training. They've released them back into the community. They are living with us, sleeper cells. We are all in danger. We are all in, what did I say? Danger. How did we get to where you now say Tinubu is in charge of this government? Tinubu, the weaker element. Baba Jagaban is not in charge. I'm going to come back to the ELITE story. Just give me a bit of time. And I'm going to finish it up with Babakito's one that we're treating this week. And then we're going to close the broadcast. So we've done 1 hour. So we have just less than an hour to go. 560 repentant Boko Haram. So that Boko Haram, we don't chuku one of our mothers, then kill the mother. Do you know that it might be one of the Boko Haram that killed Mr. Gbenga Wolabi that the government released back? Say, government, we are sorry. We are not going to do Boko Haram anymore. We apologize to Nigerians. We swear with the Quran. We are now good people. Please, Nigerians, forgive us. We are very sorry. All the crime we committed, all the killings, all the destruction, we are sorry. So just accept us back in the community. And the government said, that's fine. It saves the military money to fight you. Come back, train them. Then when they are well trained, I'll tell you how they're going to train them, what they are training them for. Then they will release them back in the community. And that is the end of it. And then somebody will then come and say, people fighting Yoruba nation that are non-violent, that the government should come for us. Really? Okay. You can see why the Biafra are going to fight the government with weapons. Yoruba are not going to fight with weapons because we're intelligent people. We don't like weapons. I like a weapon. No, we don't like. We like this our sharp mouth where we can talk. Yeah, that's all we know how to do. Those of you on Instagram, my close boy coming back after 20 seconds. But the Biafrans does not want to wait anymore. They're going to fight with weapons. Not fight the government, but defend themselves so that if the government comes to kill them, they will kill the government back, whoever the government is. That is what is going to happen. So stop pretending as if you don't know. So every day they're analyzing how they're killing themselves on channels, on Sky News and on BBC, how Russia is killing Ukraine soldier, how Ukraine soldier is killing Russian soldier. That is what is going to happen between the Nigerian government and the Biafra. They will kill each other. But Biafra will eventually win. That is going to happen. If you don't believe, I'm talking about the Biafra because they have told us, Simon Ekpa, the government in exile, said he needs more weapon. The weapon that he doesn't need talking anymore. He's tired of talking. They've been talking. Now it's fight to defend their land against invaders because Nigerian government is an invader. Because if the government can be telling us as if we are all stupid people, but we are intelligent, we are not stupid now. Hey, Yoruba people, intelligent people. I was stupid. We are not stupid now. We know what we are doing now. I am not talking about self-determination people. I'm talking about the idiot Yoruba people following Tinubu up and down. All those bastard Yoruba people. They are there. The Tinubu they vote for is putting 560 Boko Haram. Is putting 560 Boko Haram in training. Not our color stupid though. Our self-determination, because we have told them that we are not interested in Nigeria. But the stupid, bomb bastard Yoruba people that are still interested in Nigeria, and they voted for Tinubu, and they can see Tinubu doing this. They are not out there protesting. They now want Yoruba people for self-determination to come out and then protest against this. OPC Nigeria. We are OPC Nigeria. Ṣé ti gbọ́ pé wọ́n release àwọn Boko Haram wá pa ṣègèsì lára. Ẹ̀yin òkúkú ní ní àwọn ìbọn ẹ̀tù tó fi ń pa ẹ̀tù táwọn bàbá yẹn ń lò láyé àtijọ́ ló wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin. Àwọn tẹ̀sẹ̀ máa rìn wáìn. Tẹ̀ bá ti síwájú ẹ̀ rìn wáìn ẹ̀. Kẹ́ tó rìn wáìn ẹ̀ àwọn ilé àpá ṣègèsì lára. Gbogbo wa wà nínú Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n release Boko Haram padà sínú community. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? No problem. No problem. Borno State, these ones are the 8th batch. So they've been 1 batch, 2 batch, 3 batch, 4 batch, 5 batch, 6 batch, 7 batch. This is the 8th batch of. These are not bandits. They didn't call them bandits anymore. Boko Haram. The Yoruba people, they will come here with their teten. Some of them, you know, the MTN they are using to sub. Gbèsè lọ́gbà o. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Love you too much. Gbèsè lọ́gbà. So Boko Haram are coming back as a new born Pekin. And we are saying we are one Nigeria. Remember that this Boko Haram firstly, they are not Nigerians. So the Boko Haram that came from Sahel and said to the federal government, we are sorry. We are sorry. We misrode into Nigeria. And then the government trained them, feed them, and even give them wife to marry. Gbogbo wa la ní, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, bí Nàìjíríà ṣe dàrú, gbogbo wa la máa lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ tó bá yá. And then we are talking about self-determination, and some people are still talking about restructuring with these people, and some people are still talking about share integration. The 8th batch of the reintegration of low risk You know what I mean? What does the government mean by low risk? Okay, so me too, I'm a low risk now. Why should the government think I'm a threat to the government? I am not I'm more of look, Tinubu knows that we are not in military. We are in democracy. He cannot do jack shit. He did more than what I am doing during their days in Nedeko. Maybe some of you don't know. So, and right now, we are in democracy. So some of you, Koiki, please. If Tinubu can be said, because Tinubu is, Tinubu can the commander-in-chief of armed forces. Do you think that they will release this Boko Haram? I'll be out of this program before 12. So hopefully we'll have our full program tomorrow. Or we see how it goes. Is the president aware that they have been released back to the... They are still using the format from the Buhari? Maybe they have not briefed Tinubu. I don't think Tinubu is aware. Nah, I don't think Tinubu is aware. Nah, I don't think so. Jagaban. I don't think Tinubu is aware that they are releasing Boko Haram. I think it's the governor of Borno State. He must know about the Boko Haram. He will even be frustrated that the paper picked the story out because this was from Buhari. So he said, Tinubu say, I will continue from where Buhari stopped. Okay, now I understand. Okay, Tinubu is aware. Continue to say that we are the threat to government. Look, these ones, let me tell you. They've released them now. They're back in the society. There's no 20 minutes past. They're not born Dizani, Alice Madweke to come out of her house right now. It's 20 minutes past 11. And Musobe, if I hear that Dizani leave her house and that electronic tag does not ring back to the police station, I will go to the court tomorrow and I will tell the court to revoke a bail condition. If I go party now or I go somewhere and I see Dizani, and I know she's meant to be in the house because she's a flight risk, I will go to the magistrate court in the morning and they must revoke a bail condition. But the government said to me now that they release low-risk Boko Haram back into the society. No electronic tags. We don't know where they're going to end up. But Yoruba people, we are more focused with the Igbos. No problem. I might take breakfast. I am not here defending the Igbos, okay? As they are criminal, we have criminals. As they don't like us, we hate them as well. But how do we monitor these ones, this low risk? Because something that is low risk is even much dangerous for us. So they will bring them with Dangote truck, drop them in Lagos. And then Olori Buruku Sanwo-Olu will say, deport Yoruba people back to Osun. Deport Yoruba people back to Osun State. But leave the one coming from the north inside Lagos State. You can see that we have problems coming. It's a mixed bag. Let me quickly finish what Ayo Akinfe said before we go back to this Boko Haram, so that we don't lose plot. And I'm looking at the time. Time is very, very important. I'm going to start again. And Ayo Akinfe, like I said, is the chairman of the Central Association of Nigerians in the UK. And since Nigeria is still a country, everybody around the world that are representing Nigeria, don't blame them. They have the right. But if they are Yorubas and they are not supporting Yoruba nation or the division of Nigeria, and they live abroad, then there's a problem. Can Nigeria's elite please exercise a little restraint with all these lavish weddings that keep throwing every weekend in the midst of the current inflationary crisis afflicting the country? It is highly insensitive to be flaunting such wealth with this kind of reckless abandon. Mashallah, fún yín tó mean òyìnbó yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. Ìtàn sọ ni pé nínú làálàá gbòógbòó, ẹ̀hàn kí mi kàn hard tèmi mọ́ ni, nínú gbòógbòó gbàálàá, nínú àìjẹ àìmu, omi gbé wọn lọ, ikú wọlé pa wọ́n, kò sí hospital, wọn ò rí nǹkan kan ṣe, àwọn èèyàn kàn ń sùn, àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wọ́n bá wọn sùn lójú títì, àgbàlagbà gan ní London ṣe ni wọ́n jábra lọ ń bára wọn sùn ta. Wàhálà wà o. Ó ní ó ṣe wá jẹ́ ní every weekend làwọn olówó ń ṣe party. Pé ṣé tẹ̀ ní human feelings ni? Tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ lówó yẹn lóòótọ́, ṣé nínú làásìgbò tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà báyìí lẹ́yìn tí ń ṣe party? Olówó á ní kí ló kàn wọ́n pẹ̀lú yẹn? Ṣé òun lòun ní ká má lówó ni? Ẹ wá rántí pé gbogbo wọn inú Nàìjíríà ló fi lówó. Go and look back to every single one of them. They were favored by Nigeria. I know you want to say, God favor me in Nigeria. I know that's some of your prayer. This government will favor me. Omo, you no go favor anybody. It's lies. It's a fraud. It's a crime against humanity. Last weekend, it was Bola Shagaya. I met her once in London. And the job I did for her through another consultant that called me to cover the job, I was never paid. Imagine you were in an event where Bola Shagaya is sitting down, Sanusi is sitting down, top elite in London, and you would think that you would take home at least nothing less than 500 at least for that night. And then you did the job, you didn't get paid. So why some of you are there thinking, I will be favored by one of them? You will never be favored by any one of them, because they are not thinking of any single one of us apart from their own cycle. They have their cycles. And you will find it difficult to penetrate into that cycle. Because for me to be able to get into that cycle during that event and I did not get paid, then there's a problem. And whether that consultant was paid, and I never got paid, but I didn't get paid for that job. She was there. And I have evidence, okay? So don't say that I have evidence. Last weekend, it was Bola Shagaya's sons getting married. And you can imagine the number of private jets, brand new SUV that were on display. Does it ever occur to our elite that one day, the hungry might just storm these parties and take out their anger and frustration on them? Ijokombo lọ́lọ́run wí tí mẹ̀kúnnù máa ya wọnú àwọn pátì yẹn wá dá wèrè pè síbẹ̀. Ṣèbíyàn kan ló climb the mast ní Abuja. Gbogbo wa la gbọ́ story yẹn just yesterday. The guy went up there and he wanted to commit suicide. His hunger. They were able to convince him. He came down. Okay, Mr. Christopher Sunday. from Italy. Thank you for watching. He came down, and now the police is saying that they will test him whether he's mentally stable. If he's mentally stable, they will charge him. I told you Nigeria is a crime scene. For somebody to think about the danger and then neglected that danger, went all the way to the top of the mast, that person is definitely going through some kind of depression, suicidal, mental health condition, but the police are still saying, no, we will go and test him, because this one in Nigeria, because we know say that person is only for hunger, a reason why he go up. Abi was doing for content. I've been a skit maker, and we will charge him. God bless European countries. They just see a small sign like that. You will be the one enjoying more better than a lot of us, because not everybody will do it. So for the fact that you've done it, let me explain what they do in Europe. For the fact that you've done it, they don't want somebody else to go and do the same thing, because it will be a disaster. But now Nigeria now is not a country, it's a zoo. Koiki, stop calling. Well, you two were born in a zoo. Yeah, I was born in a zoo. Really. I hear people come and defend their say. So if you call Nigeria a zoo, so you two, you were born in a zoo. Yes, we were all born in the zoo. It's just that me, I have escaped the zoo. You are still trapped in the zoo. No electricity, no education, no security, no food. You finish from university, you're up there, nothing. My family were telling me how much they have to spend to buy food stuff into the house. 50,000 naira is not enough. 50,000 naira is not enough to buy anything. And how many of you can afford 50,000? So Ayakinfe, Egbomi, thanks so much for telling them. People will come out. And we're not talking about Yoruba Nation people. We are just watching. No, you want us to come out, Abi, so you can come out as well and then do your own destruction. No, go and do your own destruction now. Leave us alone. Then let me respond to Wale Ali. Abi ko fe da fún ẹni Wale Ali, abo fe ṣoríire ni. Abo gun fe pa ẹni. Don't ever talk to Baba Akintoye again. Oh, ni ṣoríire. Ṣebí dúpẹ́ ti gba country fún yín. What the hell are you still doing in London? Bastard. Sọ pé Baba Akintoye kọ lẹ́tà sí Tinubu kí la máa wá ṣe nísìn. Ṣebí kí ni Tinubu abo fagbóyó ni. Abo lórí burúkú ni ẹni. Koiki ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. London lájọ wà. Idiot. Go padà lọ sí country náà. Ibẹ̀ ti gba country yín. Kí ni Baba Akintoye ní ṣe pẹ̀lú wọn mọ́? Ẹ̀yin oníranù, ẹ̀yin tí kòkò tó ń rìn lórí yín. And thank you so much, Lady K àti Baba Ekiti. Mo gbọ́ program yẹn tẹ́ bá mi fàyè. Ẹ fi mi àti ẹlẹ́ London. Baba Ekiti ẹ fi mi àti Wálé Àlè sílẹ̀. Orí ń ta ni. Ibẹ̀ ti gba country. Go back to your country now. Kelvin Chima, good morning. How you doing, my brother? Go back to your country. You don't need to be in UK. Abo níwèé tó fẹ́ fi jáde ni. Wálé Àlè. Immigration on ṣe disease ó jẹ́ ya pè mí. Kí n san tó máa ṣe fún ẹ. Idiot. Let's go straight to the discussion for this week. So this week is the 7th week. And what we are going to talk about is we shall take creative steps about political parties. I'm not talking about the political party in your country that is calling Nigeria. Because those ones are not political parties. Those ones are monsters. Bloodsuckers. From Saraki up down to Wike to Dino. Where's Yaya Bello? And then one day that man from Kogi defending Yaya Bello. Criminals all over the place. Page what any hour. So let me read that briefly. So because that's what we're treating this week. Number 37 lower. So let's go quickly and start from number 37. Moki gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. I might be no because I have to, because you remember it's a 95 page, so I have to look for the one we want to read. So pé wọ́n ti ṣe kíni bàbá kí tó yẹ ní ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ yìí mọ́. Ìbẹ́yìn ti gba country. Ṣé bọ́ ṣe gba country ní UK náà ló jókòó sí London. Idiot all over the place. Báwo tẹ lọ ṣe fún ọgbọ̀n yìí ní visa wọlé gan sef? Don't even know how some of you got to UK. All right, let's read from there. We shall take creative steps about political parties. And I think I should record it as well. I think I should do. Show what there. Enter our Instagram. Ẹ má bínú, ẹ lọ sórí OLAYOMI KOIKI. Fẹ́ record the kíni tí mo fẹ́ kà yìí. So that Kumale send us an audio zita. Ẹ má bínú sí mi, tí bá ṣe tán máa tún padà wá. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyàwó alálùbáríkà, ẹ̀yin silent listeners. Ẹ̀yin ti dúpọ̀ ní tìrì mo kí yín náà. Ìyá mi Ìbírónkẹ́ wọ́n ní Congo ẹ̀wà ó ti di 4,005. Mr. Adeyemi ní if you want to prepare an average pot of soup wà ní 10,000 naira lọ́wọ́. Èló gan ni salary èèyàn ní àbá tí ń fi 10,000 síbẹ̀. Lọ́n kò ṣàánú. Wọ́n fi àjà wọn ẹ̀rọ everybody ni. So ẹ jẹ́ ká record yìí tí mo fi ká yìí. Eléyìí ní storage phone ti full. Ṣé sùúrù ni o? Ṣé record eléyìí náà? We shall take creative steps about political parties. In Nigeria, the political parties have been the central factor in the making of the country's reign of corruption and grotesque indiscipline. The Nigerian political party is simply an association for the personal enrichment of its leading members and a place of economic refuge for some low persons. In short, a party belongs to the few leaders who use its influence to amass huge personal wealth. These party bosses stay on top and in the money-stealing position by expanding in a little part of the ill-gotten wealth to... No, I think we've done this. I think we've done this already. We shall take... What I really last week. It might be no see me. No, okay. We shall sharply clean up our politics. Last week. All right. It might be no. Because there's no point repeating the same thing. It will be just not worth it. All right, so we're going to go again. We shall take creative steps about political parties. In Nigeria, the political parties have been the central factor in the making of the country's reign of corruption and grotesque indiscipline. The Nigerian political party is simply an association for the personal enrichment of its leading members and a place of economic refuge for some lower persons. In short, a party belongs to the few leaders who use its influence to amass huge personal wealth. These party bosses stay on top and in money-stealing positions by expanding a little part of their ill-gotten wealth to breed and feed an army of hangers on, cronies, and violent thugs for intimidating, physically hurting, or even killing political rivals. Consequently, assassinations are common and blood flows frequently in Nigerian politics. Political parties are also responsible for the evolution of the Nigerian political culture of election manipulation and rigging. While preparing for an election, Nigerian political parties typically budget large amounts of money for bribing the Electoral Commission, the police, and other security officers working in the election process, the judges of the election tribunal in the case their help. No, we've done this last week. Yeah, I'm very sure. No, this is not the one we need. What we need now is chapter 8. We shall make our elections quality elections. At the Shetibi last week. I've come into this. Because reading it, I knew straight away that it's not that one. So we shall make our elections quality elections. We saw the election in UK. Moki our great solution to pray at Ini. So Mr. Perry, good morning or good evening. So we shall make our election quality elections. It might be no, it's just that I think I'm getting tired. So after this, we're gonna start wrapping up quickly. It might be no see me. We shall make our elections quality elections, as we have seen abundantly in the political history of Nigeria, and as we have seen in the political history of nearly all African countries in our time. Poorly managed elections, manipulation and rigging of elections, disputed election results, conflict over elections are a sure source of a political disaster. Once the trend starts, it is essentially impossible to arrest. The only sure antidote in any country is to make the first election thoroughly clean and to make that as a traditional forever. For these all-important reasons, everything will be done from the beginning and at all times in our country's history to make our elections free, fair, and incorruptible. Our laws will make the slightest falsification of any detail of an election process a high crime or a sabotage of our national political order, punishable by many years of imprisonment, sometimes by life imprisonment. In many cases, the punishable will include banishment from further participation in elections or even banishment from politics and public service altogether. If tampering with an election process is observed, allegedly or suspected in any constituency, the ongoing election in that constituency shall be suspended forthwith to enable investigation to be carried out and complete and to enable any consequent criminal case to be concluded. In addition, the government will regularly keep before the consciousness of our whole public serious instructions as to why elections must be respected and be inviolate in our country. In the wide world, our country will have the pride and respect for our highly dependable tradition of respected elections of free, fair, and peaceful election. By the good news, Path to Prosperity in Our Orilede by Professor Adebanji Akintoye. You can see that was a very easy one. This one would need a lot of expansion. And the good example is the UK election. This time last week, or should we say, yes, this time last week, UK was gearing up for an election. The election has been concluded. No killing, no magomago, no stabbing, no ballot snatching. Nobody intimidates anybody. You would not even realize that election has just been concluded. That is the process and one of many reasons why we want a country of our own. Many of you today, not some of you that are believing Yoruba nation, but millions of Yoruba people and Nigerians are gearing up for another fake election in 2027, even though it will not give them the actual result. Young man dies after allegedly beaten by 6 men by the senior police officer's sons in Lagos State. Did you see that? Another news, I say Nigeria, mama friend. Koiki, you only bring bad news to your own platform. Young man dies after allegedly beaten with dangerous object by 6 men led by a senior police officer's son. Intimidation. So Molopa, what is Sherry? Obakiolu, Lagos State. I know him very well. When I was in phase 2, Nyadeni Jadele. One of the wife was living with us in that estate, while the other one was living, I think, in Ikoyi. Elobero don't be in phase 2. How he was able, then he was a police officer. Obaniwanisi, right? Okay. Nigeria. One of the daughter schooled in London. I'll not mention her name, but she schooled at University of Hull, where I visited a few times. And we were all close friends. But they did make use of their orderly. Orderly, le man pe won olopa to man, to man low to intimidate people in that estate. Well, intimidate awa o. Bí a jọ lọ́pọ̀ mọ̀ pé mọ̀ ṣe tèmi náà wà láàbùrọ̀ rẹ̀ pé àwa náà à ń ṣe onídọ̀tí. Ọlọ́run fọ́run kẹ́ grandma mi. So we were respected. And we were good friends. And that is still happening today. And I'm talking about, I finished in 1995. 1995, mo ṣetán ní secondary school. Orúkọ ọmọ kékeré ni mi àbí. Òun wá bàbá àgbàlagbà tó wọ́n á gba Yorùbá nation fún yín àbí. Is that what you're waiting for? Ondrode àwọn Ọbásanjọ́, àwọn Ọkọ̀yà, àwọn ilẹ̀ Ndrode, kọ́ wá gba Yorùbá nation fún yín. Àwọn tó ń ṣe party tó ń dagbádá kulẹ̀ káàkiri tó ráyè anybody. Sure. Ẹ̀yin tèmi, àmọ́ mi tó ìwà sílẹ̀. And that is still going on today. Intimidation. It has not finished. And it will continue like that till thy kingdom come. So we will expand more. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ angle tí bàbá gbé wa lọ lálẹ́. Ẹ má bínú pé I was mixing it up. I think the brain is just a little bit tired. Yẹn ni kò ṣe plotted because number 8 lawa, not number 7. Number 7 la ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán. So we shall make our election quality elections. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé àníṣe lásán. It might look like what we need to be happy about is that we are in a different generation that the media has helped us to propagate this message without any license. The only license I need is to pay for my router. Timba sanwó router yẹn. Ẹni Ọlọ́run mo kí, thanks so much, Mr. Perry. Timba sanwó internet me. That's the only problem. Mo kẹ́yìn táwa lórí Mixlr. Ogumola, thanks so much. Majority of the houses in Nigeria didn't have water closet and running water. In Bola ti fẹ́ rí yẹn. Tabati yàgbẹ́ tán máa ń dọmi síbẹ̀ ni àbí kọ́ lọ ṣe short put níta. So we will, Alan Conde says, Tinubu know everything that is going on because he's the president. Okay. The most idiot tribes and country I've ever seen is Nigerians. Thanks so much, Alan Conde. Báwo ni China ní ẹ̀yin tí wà ní almost going to the noon time. Tó bá fẹ́ bá China sọ̀rọ̀, time tó gbọ́dọ̀ máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lélẹ̀. Tó bá jẹ́ kó ń ṣe business pẹ̀lú China. Because they are way ahead of us in terms of time. So, tó bá lọ wo time wọn nísìn, aago tó lù ní China nísìn is exact 7 o'clock láàárọ̀ làwọn wà nísìn. So, tó bá ń ṣe business ní China, which is what many of you should be doing, this is the time to be communicating, with China, exchanging ideas. China tó dá TikTok sílẹ̀. Ẹbẹ̀ lọ́wọ́n tó wà ní China. Wọ́n fi ń ṣe business ni. But Google làwọn fi ń jó lórí TikTok and all kind of rubbish. Àtajà lórí ẹ̀. Bí àwọn díẹ̀ kàn. Then the only thing that sells that I see all the time is oògùn tó máa jẹ́ kí sàlẹ̀ le nǹkan kan. Ìyẹn nìkan ni máa ń gbọ́ all the time. All the adverts on most of these platforms, and I'm thinking to myself, how did we get to all this nonsense? Ṣé kákọ̀ máa ṣe jìgìjìgì nìkan lára so ìyẹn la wáyé wá ṣe jìgìjìgì kí sàlẹ̀ le kára ṣe kinní kan Those are the adverts I see all the time. Kò sẹ́ni tó ń sọ pé research kan lélẹ̀ ká jókòó ká plọ̀tẹ̀ ká mú -2 kó ká wá bá ṣe máa send kan lọ sí space. The only thing that sells in that shit of country is, and I don't want to mention the guy's name, but gbogbo àwọn pàrágà tó ń tàn yẹn gbogbo kìíní, you gotta be very careful. It's gonna kill you faster than what you don't know. Gbogbo àwọn kan tẹ̀ mú yẹn máa pa kidney. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ wà nílùú tí, look, àwọn tó ní kidney problem nílùú they can survive another 15-20 years easy. Don't try it in Nigeria. Bí ẹ bá gba country ṣá, a máa tọ́jú yín nígbà tí kidney bá ti bàjẹ́ tán pátápátá. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn panṣágà tẹ́ ẹ̀ mú káàkiri yẹn. And most of those products that are not even tested with quality control. Ẹ kàn mú olúkálùkù kàn mú jágbajàgba jógbòjògbò ni. And they're using most of the celebrity to sell them. And the last wedding tí ó ṣe kan, gbogbo tí mo kàn rí ní background, alcohol ni. Gbogbo ilé lẹ́mọ̀ wedding tí mo ń sọ, just leave it like that. Because nígbà tí bá sọ nísìnyí, kó má dà pé èèyàn ta sí àwọn particular person kan. All I was just watching behind the scene of that wedding was alcohol being promoted. So wọ́n náà fi dàbí pé olówó ni wọ́n náà tó dẹ̀ lówó lọ́wọ́. Owó tó yẹ kó fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ kó fi ṣebẹ̀, wà lọ máa ra pàrágà sílé. Your kidney will be destroyed and Nigeria hospital will not help you. I'll leave it like that for now. A very good morning. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Àdúrà wa gbà níṣẹ́ lásán. Mo kí àwa Jọkẹ́ Bọ́dúnrin. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ẹ mú pàrágà tí tẹ́ ẹ mọ quantity nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ mú. And you're drinking it every day. And some of you will just go into your heart, will just stop. Hey, ìyá kan ló ṣe, ìyá kankan ṣe yín. The intake of what you're drinking will kill you faster. So please, mo bẹ̀ yín. Mo ní kẹ́ máa ṣe fàájì, but take, very, very moderate. Because you're in a country that doesn't have any hospital. Wọ́n á yẹ pé nígbà tó bá wá ní kidney tán, máa ní ká wá dáwó kan fún ẹ. Owó táwọn diaspora, diaspora kúkú like àwọn owó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ká dáwó fún media, kí media expand. Ṣé tó bá blow ṣe fẹ́mi nìkan ni? Àní dáwó yẹn. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń dá mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. Ọba owó ẹjọ́ owó nǹkan kan yẹn lẹ like. Diaspora like àwọn owó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Náà dẹ̀ ṣe ilẹ̀ kúkú ń ṣiṣẹ́ fúnra yín tẹ́ fi ń sanwó yẹn. Wọ́n máa fún yín lálàáfíà tẹ́ fi ń ṣe o. But bó ṣe sọ, government ló máa fix problem of a country. Bí diaspora 1 million bá máa ń send owó sílé lójoojúmọ́, kò lè ràn tó wà ńlẹ̀. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tí ẹ̀ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Mo kí ẹ Kenzie Fápọ̀húndà. Mo kí ẹ Easy. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa tún wò. Fatai Motaji. Mo kí ẹ Ṣóbọ́lá Olúwaṣẹ́. Mo kí Akeem Ayọ̀délé brother mi. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lálẹ́ mọ́ṣọ́. Mo kí Bishop Adéṣínà Ifágbémilékè. Mo kí ẹ Abdulrafi. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní ìlú Ìbàdàn. Mo kí mọ́ sí mi lẹ́ǹkan sí. Oorun ayọ̀ la máa sùn. Tomorrow is another day. We will get there. Mo hope you enjoy our short videos me. Keep watching them. We will liberate you very soon. I can assure you. Don't ask me on all of everywhere Yoruba nation. Ọlọ́run wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ni ká máa sọ. But Ọlọ́run máa lo àwọn kan láti fi parí iṣẹ́ yẹn ni. That's all I will say. Ìjọ ló máa dé, I don't know. Mo sọ fún yín pé ká má lọ vote, ẹ lọ vote. So this is the time now that we wait. We're not waiting for Tinubu, but we are going to wait. But things will happen. Like Elijah. Let's keep the awareness going. Good night to my mom. Good night to my wives. Good night to my children. To my extended family. Mori, Bakomikon, Sumbo Koiki. Not all of them probably feel comfortable with what I do. I don't give a toss. If you feel comfortable, we love you. orúkọ bàbá wa mo ti gbé travailler, mo ti káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Àwọn tí àwọn náà máa jẹ, àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n náà máa jẹ ń bẹ̀. Ṣé tó bá ní Koiki wo ni tiẹ̀? Ṣé Koiki bọ̀bọ̀ tó máa ẹkùn fún rẹ̀? Number 1 Ìgbòho ṣá, Ìgbòho kékeré fún rẹ̀. Àwọn náà máa jàǹfààní ẹ̀. Mo kí Koiki mi kan náà ní Germany, ìyá mi kan, kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín. Ẹ kú àdúrótì. Orin ayọ̀ la máa sùn. Good night.